Alright guys, welcome to a new video. I haven't made one in a while, but today we're going to be talking about Joe Mixon. So Mixon was one of the running backs in the legendary 2017 draft class. He's had the prototypical size of 6'1", about 230 pounds, and he's always had the ability to pass, catch, to block, to run, and to be a bell cow, but he hasn't really put it together since he's been a pro. I know we've been saying this for years, but if he doesn't get injured, this is finally the year he's going to be putting it together. So let's dive into some quick math and just kind of talk about what I think he can do in 2021. In 2020, Mixon had the second largest opportunity share in the league, which gave him 119 carries and 26 targets. Keep in mind this was all done in 6 weeks because in week 6, Mixon injured his foot, which ended up putting him on the sideline for the rest of the year. His backfield mate last year was Gio Bernard for the majority of it. Bernard's more of a scat back and he took some carries, but Gio was able to have 124 carries and 59 targets on the year. The Bengals did have other running backs like Samaje Perine and also Travion Williams that took some carries, but we're not going to really worry about them. The reason for this would be just because the amount of work they received is a good estimate of people who could be working in this year and taking touches from Mixon. So when you add their workload together, you get about 250 carries and 70 targets for Joe Mixon possibly in 2021 because Gio is signed with the Bucs and he's going to go party on the boat and try to chase trophies with Tom Brady. You're probably like, okay, duh, he's going to have a lot more work this year. But I don't know if anyone realizes the possible upside of Mixon in 2021. So like I said, Mixon had a 6-game sample size, and I was able to take their total points and also their averages for this time period to get a projection of possible points per game and a total season-long point total for Mixon if he stays healthy for 16 games. So if you include week 4, which is the week where Mixon went off for 47 points, he averaged about 16.6 points per week, and without week 4, he averaged 11.5. So that's a significant drop-off. So without that huge burst game, Mixon wasn't getting a lot of work and he wasn't that successful. In the meantime, Gio was averaging only 2.5 points per week when you include week 4, where he didn't have a lot of work. But without week 4, he was averaging 7.2. So really, he got phased out in that week 4 game. When you add together their average points per game, you get 19.1 when you include the big burst game and 18.7 without it. If you extrapolate the production out for the season, that gives Mixon about 300 total points for the year. That would put him as running back 4 in the year. If you consider the average amount of points he scores per week off this projection, that would put him as running back 6. Keep in mind this is comparing to last year's stats, and it also includes Antonio Williams, who played 1 game for the Bills as a starter, so he's kind of an outlier. So realistically, that actually puts Mixon in the spot to be running back 5. Now, do I think that'll happen? Not necessarily, but that's saying to us that Mixon has top 5 potential. And depending where he's going to go in drafts, and since the narrative's becoming so negative on him just because he's continuously failed us the last few years, there's a good chance you're going to get him at a great value as a mid-range running back 2 or a real low running back 1, depending. I feel like he's going to be a running back that some teams start with if they take an early round receiver as a RB2. He could provide a lot of value, and I really like him in 2021. Thanks for watching as always, guys. This was a quicker video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.